Hey everybody, Dusty here at Mojave World Headquarters, and we have a very special guest today, our friend Robert Lunte. You might have seen Robert on our website. He does a great video demonstration of the MA1000, and we're going to talk all about that. But Robert, we know you as a vocal coach. Mm-hmm. That's how we came to know each other.
Yep.
And you have the Vocalist Studio?
That's right.
Right. So tell us about that. How did you get into that?
Sure.
You're a singer and performer, of course, and but that led you into teaching.
I've been a singer all my life. I very much was inspired by Jeff Tate, Rob Halford, male voices that would go through the vocal break, through the passaggio, and make the head voice sound full, belty, boomy, and heroic. Very long story short, in my pursuit and journey to understand the techniques to build a voice to do that sort of thing,
right.
I became a voice coach. So I didn't really become a voice coach because I had planned to. It sort of pulled me in.
Right.
I was a tech guy for many years, and after the .com crash, I needed to pay my bills.
Right.
So I thought I could teach a little bit, and I did. I started teaching, and it just, I discovered that it was something that I'm really good at.
Right.
Yeah, and then the rest is history, I guess.
I know you've done master classes all over the world.
Yes. Yeah, we've done probably about 56 different master classes in Germany, France, Italy, Switzerland,
wow.
England, with mic sponsors.
Right.
Yeah, it's just been a blast. It's been fun. These are rooms full of singing students and their voice coaches. And then what we do is we go over the techniques, the training techniques that we teach at the Vocalist Studio to help build these motor skills.
Right.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I wish I would have met you about 50 years ago when I was still trying to sing.
Yeah, well, you can,
but it's never too late, right?
It's not too late.
Never too late.
The voice is vocal training is an athletic endeavor. It takes training to build the motor skills.
Right.
And a lot of people will think that you're either born with it or you're not, and that's not necessarily true. You're born with a certain amount of talent and gift,
right.
But the person that has average gift can learn to sing really great if you got a big heart and you have a good coach and you have great techniques and you just train. You do the physical work, the skills, the practicing. Right. You can build a great voice. We prove it every day.
Cool.
I could train your voice.
My voice needs training.
Yeah, we could get a little better compression on your vocal folds and get the resonance moving forward a little bit. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that'll be a separate discussion.
I'm teasing you.
That just went.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I believe you. I know your results. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be a separate discussion.
Yeah.
Because I'm still trying to learn to play bass after 60 years. Trying to keep that together.
We're all always students.
Right.
We're never master our instrument. And for sure, singing is the same.
Right.
There's always something more to learn. There's always a new level of aptitude and skills that we're striving for.
Right.
If you're serious about it.
We met at the NAMM show pre-COVID. I remember when you came up.
Yep.
And we talked, and then I think we didn't talk, and then you came back the next year, and then we actually really connected. And then that's when you did the MA1000 video for us. That's on our website.
Yes.
Lots of views.
Through the city, looking out for new paradigms in the walls that we climb. For us all that was laid at the altar in time.
So that kind of leads us into talking about your relationship with microphones.
Yeah.
From a singer and from a vocal coach perspective. I know you have close to 100 microphones in your collection.
Yes, I have way too many microphones, and I love every bit about it.
Yeah.
As a voice coach, we train with live amplification. So we've always had, me and my students have always had mics.
Oh, wow.
Handhelds,
Right.
typically dynamics. So after 25, 30 years of that, I just grew to become a mic geek. I just love them.
Right.
Apart from the sound color and their primary function, the industrial design, the way they're crafted, the way they're built, is something that sort of turns me on in a geeky way.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, right? You get it?
Yeah, totally.
So I have big diaphragm mics, I've got handheld condensers and a lot of dynamic mics. your MA1000 is just so creamy. I love it. I have a lot of clone mics that are sort of cloning the Neumanns and that sort of thing, and they sound great. But your mic is my favorite mic. If I really want to pull out and do a track that is going to have a lot of serious mixing and curation and a lot of love put into it for something sort of professional that I might put into a video sort of thing,
Right.
I'm going to use your mic, your 1000. I like it a lot.
We're proud of that mic. It's a beauty. For those of you who don't know, that's basically David Royer's take on the classic Telefunken 251, which is pretty much the holy grail of vintage tube mics. Now they go for like 35 grand if you can find one. They didn't make that many of them to begin with, but
Good grief.
there's a few floating around. But yeah, we're very proud of that mic. That's a beautiful sounding mic. Let's talk about dynamics and handhelds a little bit.
Let's. Yeah.
So I know you like to use a handheld, and I know there's people like, a couple of little guys like Mick Jagger and Paul Rogers and
Right.
Steven Tyler that like to cut their vocals
Yep.
with a handheld in the
Yep.
studio.
Yep. When I'm recording, I do prefer to have a handheld. In regards to my dynamic collection, I have everything, pretty much anything I can get my hands on that is hand built, boutique, hard to find, that
Right.
sort of thing, and some of the the everyday great stuff. So Dusty and I made a connection about this new handheld this new dynamic MAD that they were producing, and I was like, me want. Let's send that thing over.
Well, you were on the top of a long list of people. It
Thank
took
you.
like a year longer than we hoped,
Yeah.
but it's like it's coming.
That's flattering. And but yeah, and the thing that's cool about that, Dusty, is you have a company that's been building big diaphragm mics in a masterly way that decides to create a handheld dynamic. That's very interesting. That's a compelling thing. That's something I want to get my hands on. So we made an arrangement. I got the mic. I pulled it out. I plugged it in, and this is the mic, by the way. So I pull it out of the box and I test 1, 2, check, test. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And I go to my PA system and I twiddle with the dials a little bit, and I go back and I go, yeah, and I sing into it, and I instantly realized it's warm. It's got a coloration to it that you do not get from any other handheld dynamic mic. Not my collection. I probably got 60 of these things. I love this thing. I love this. I really respect the idea that Mojave went out and chose to make a microphone very purposely that wasn't going after the 58.
Right. Because there's hundreds of those. There's plenty of those out there if that's what you're looking for.
I've got 59 of those.
Right.
There's gobs and gobs of 58 clones out there, and many of them are great mics, but this is unique because it's warm. You call it the smooth alternative, is that right? Yeah.
Right.
It's smooth, it's creamy, it's warm, and well, what can I say? I loved it. I loved it, and so I'm very passionate about this product. It's good.
Well, I'd say like 9 out of 10 singers that have got their hands on this and sung into it just had the same reaction. They just love it.
Yeah.
There's 10% that miss that President's Peak that all the other ones have, and that's fine. Not hard to find if that's what you're looking for. And one thing that David points out in one of our other videos where he's talking about the design of this, when the SM58 came out, PA systems weren't like they are now. So that President's Peak was a good thing because it helped project the voice and helped it cut through. But now PA systems are like big studio monitors. They're so dialed in that you can hear the slightest little bit of EQ change, and you don't necessarily need that President's Peak to cut through. So that was big part of the philosophy of this. And now we're having fun finding out what else does it sound good on. We just did a drum session and had one on snare drum. It sounded great. And, guitar amps and
Yep. One of the things I like about it is just sort of the attitude that went behind it. Just to simply have the courage and the nuts to say, yeah, we're going to just do something different.
right.
We're going to give people an alternative. So, in your bag of tools, singers, it's great to have. I've always advocated, have good 4 different kinds of mics with different colorations and different attributes. This for sure would be one of them because it's really unique in its coloration.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad
Thank you
you
for
like
making
it.
this.
You
Thank
bet,
you for making
you bet.
this.
Well,
It's really
David
cool.
Royer, you know, it all goes back to David. I've been bugging
Okay.
him for years. David, we need a dynamic, and he's just not really into dynamics, and it was
Yeah.
because of that presence peak. He didn't like it. So it took us a lot of R&D to get to this microphone, something that he was willing to put his name on. So thank you, David,
It's brilliant.
once again for the great design.
Yep, it's brilliant.
So before we wrap up our chat, tell us a little bit about like your vocal clinics that you do. I know
Sure.
how do those work?
Sure. Well, we'll have a sponsor behind us, and we'll partner with other voice coaches from different areas, and eventually we'll bring in. We'll do like a full day with students and coaches where we'll go over the Vocalist Studio training techniques, which will focus mostly on what I was referring to earlier, where we expand the vocal range. We learn how to get through that hard part, the passaggio, the vocal break, and we learn how to do training techniques that will build the strength and the motor skills to belt in the head voice, to get the high notes to sound chesty. I'm oversimplifying, but that's essentially what
Right.
all singers need and want, whether they realize it or not.
Right.
So we'll do that, and there'll be volunteers will come up. I'll work with people on certain techniques and coach them in front of an audience for a few minutes, and we'll get a result. In addition to that, I'll sing, and we'll take Q&A, and then typically there's a couple days after where we'll do private lessons as
Right.
well. It's a blast.
Oh, it sounds fun.
It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of humor involved, and I'm sort of a ham in front of an audience.
Yeah, I've
so.
seen some of your videos on your website, and it looks like a blast. Looks like people are really enjoying it.
They really love
So are
it.
you?
They really love it.
Did you have to stop doing that because of COVID? Now you're firing it up again, or are you mostly coaching on Zoom now, or how's that work?
I mostly do one-on-ones. If I do a one-on-one, it's very rare these days. I used to do it all the time, but if I do it, it's on Zoom currently.
Right.
But right now, the Vocalist Studio is mostly we're marketing our online courses. We have these video-oriented online courses you can find at the website, which is thevocaliststudio.com. There's 9 courses in 5 different languages, and you watch these videos and you do the training scales and things that are in the program. It's a self-taught program that if you commit to it for about 90 days, you will get results. You're going to get results for sure. So that's where I'm spending a lot of my time,
Right.
in terms of the business side. It's scalable, and it's just an easier thing to do than only selling my time. But I will do one-on-ones on a rare occasion.
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, it's the group events.
Right.
It's sort of the master classes.
Yeah, it's great that we can all get back to doing live in-person group things.
I did take a break from it for a few years, but looking forward to getting back into it.
That's great. Well, it's a great service for people out there that want to learn to sing.
Thank you. It's interesting that you mentioned service, because I've been doing it for so many years. I get these emails from people that are oftentimes, thank you for having this course. Thank you
Right.
for what's going on. And I know you get emails like that too. And it's nice because it reminds me of there's sort of an obligation to some extent. I sort of feel responsible for continuing to do the thing that I'm gifted to do,
Right.
and not stop. Even if I'm personally a little tired a little bit, there's a sense of I need to get out there and teach. People need it. People
Right.
want it.
Right. Well, especially with singing and the little bit of, like back in the day when I was singing in bands back in Texas, I took some voice lessons, and it's a very kind of a spiritual thing. It's a release, an emotional release. All that breathing and the energy and the focus. It's kind of a meditation.
When the body becomes a channel for highly tuned resonance, when you become a vessel, a resonant space that in your own body, and you can see and hear yourself doing things that are really superhuman, which is where the training comes in. It is a turn on, man. I mean, this is why I always was really big on bridging the passaggio, getting the head voice, and singing in ways that were athletic and maybe techie in a way, because I love the sort of the heroism that goes behind doing something that's super difficult. Yeah. Even if you're not singing a song, the song's going to be the best expression. But even if you're just doing a scale, you can enjoy and make a simple scale beautiful, just in the color and the tone and the resonance when everything's dialed in. And really great singers and really great students are focusing on that. And that's when you really hunker down and get great results. You know, tuning the voice into a true resonant amplified instrument is exciting. It's a turn on for me and a lot of people.
I'm a believer. That's great. Well, listen, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
we're going to
it's an
impose
honor.
on you to do some singing for us here in a
Okay,
minute.
yep.
So those will be separate videos. So stay tuned for that.
Cool.
Thanks for tuning in.
You bet. And thank you for having me. It's an
You bet.
honor to
Oh,
be
man,
here.
Thank you for coming, Robert.
You're welcome.
My lyrics here.
I'll play it back just for a quick moment. Just to make sure
Let's give it a whirl. All right. I want to count on you guys. You guys got trained ears. I'm happy to do another take. I thought it felt at least okay, maybe good.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. Just can't see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand, and I won't make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. Lonely times when I could not find a friend. No, but I always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind to an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Where there's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines and pieces on the ground. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. No, but I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around now. Thought I'd see you, thought I'd see you fine rain now.
So
I think if it's a little further away, we can get away with a little bit extra gain. And
yeah,
it won't
so I
be
want to be able to.
Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I've got a name, I've got a name. Like a singing bird and the croaking toad, I've got a name, I've got a name. And I carry it with me like my daddy did, but I'm living a dream that he kept here. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Like a north wind whistling down the sky, I've got a song, I've got a song. Like the whippoorwill and the babies cry, I've got a song, I've got a song. And I carry it with me and I sing it loud. If it gets me nowhere, I'll go there proud. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Gonna go there free, like the fool I am and I'll always be. I've got a dream, I've got a dream. They can change their minds, but they can't change me. I've got a dream, I've got a dream, and I know I could share it if you want me to. If you're going my way, I'll go with you. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Pass me by.
Outtake.
Or yeah.
I always get that messed up.
And all I remember is it's.
Please come to Boston for the springtime and staying here with some friends. They got lots of room, and you can sell your paintings on the sidewalk. Buy a cafe where I hope to be working soon. Please come to Boston. She said no, you come home to me. And she said, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? Boston ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. Please come to Denver to see the snowfall. We'll move up into the mountains so far that we can't be found, and throw I love you echoes down this canyon, and then lie awake at night until they come back around. Please come to Denver. She said, no, boy, you come home to me. And she said, Ramblin' boy, why don't you settle down? Denver ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. Now that drifter's world goes round and round, but I doubt that it's ever gonna stop. And all the dreams I lost and found, and all that I ain't got, I just need somebody I can cling to, somebody I can sing to. Please come to LA to live forever. California life is just too hard to live. I live in a house that looks out over the ocean, and there's stars that fell from the sky living up on the hill. Please come to LA. I just said no, you come home to me. And she said, Ramblin' boy, why don't you settle down? LA ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee.